Hello everybody and welcome to episode 8 of the Ginger Hussies podcast. This week we're going to be talking about Umbrella Academy on Netflix. I'm Roisin.
I'm Alison. Oh, there's spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Forgot to say spoilers.
Dillan's also here. Spoiler alert.
That one will. Have I got ink over my face?
You got it on your hands.
I'm dressed as Klaus.
I'm dressed as Luther, or was.
I'm apparently dressed as 5.
It was a bad costume because Dillan didn't prepare.
Only you prepared.
I prepared by having clothes in my wardrobe.
I'm prepared by naturally having the muscle of Luther.
She prepared by naturally being a monkey man. Anyway, so Luther is number 1. The premise of Umbrella Academy, some kids are all born on the same day.
In 1989, 43 kids are born to mothers who were pregnant previously that
The
day.
same year
I'd
that
be
Taylor
gutted.
Swift was born. Yeah, honestly, I'd kill myself.
Is Taylor Swift one of them?
She was born on the 13th of December.
Nah.
Check yourself before you ring as well. But anyway, and then this guy, Reginald Hargreaves, decides, let's go scoop them all up.
Manages to get 7.
He gets 7. So number 1, Luther. Basically, he's really strong.
And durable.
Yeah, don't really know how. But his power
Is his power just
His
strength?
power's super strength.
It's
Yeah,
like Mr. Incredible.
yeah, that's exactly what he is. Yeah.
So he's Mr. Incredible. He's played by Tom Hopper, who's really nice. I really like Tom
He's
Hopper.
really good in
I like
Merlin.
Tom.
He's really cute.
He was in Game of Thrones as well.
I don't like
He was in Doctor Who as well.
Oh,
Greg! Is it
It's
Greg?
Greg, yeah.
Greg from Doctor
The
Who.
one who watches
He
porn
was watching porn in the middle of the day.
about his sister. Just kidding, it wasn't.
It wasn't. So he needs to delete his internet history.
But basically, Luther, he's the one who stays at home with Reginald while they all go out, and then basically he goes on a mission, gets injured really badly.
'Cause he's the
Oh
only
no,
one
well, that
left.
was before that.
He's the only one left, so he goes on a mission, and he ends up getting really badly injured, so he's pretty much dead. And then they inject him with like monkey serum.
Monkey medicine?
I don't think
What is it?
I don't know, but
No, I'd like to imagine,
it like-
in Captain America, but like stuff they
well,
get
it's
injected.
similar to like. Have you seen the X-Men films?
Yeah.
No.
It's similar to where they kind of like try to upgrade their powers, but it upgrades them too far, like Beast in First Class. the X-Men
Isn't that he's trying to
film.
get rid of his powers?
No, he's trying to make them look like he's normal,
Oh,
but
yeah.
still have the powers.
Okay, so then basically he looks like a big fat monkey man. Yeah, so Luther also just I don't dislike I do. I dislike
He's a
him.
bit brainwashed, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much obvious that he likes his dad and feels like he needs to stick by his dad.
Yeah, he's very naive.
Yeah, so then he has a lot of issues with the other siblings who
Don't.
decided to go on and continue on without the dad. Speaking of issues with siblings, Diego. Number 2. I love myself. Diego, I think, is my favourite character. I really like Diego. Go, Diego,
Oh,
go.
Diego.
Go, Diego, go.
He can throw things and like change
Like-
where they go, like control. them.
Control them.
Also, apparently he's able to breathe underwater, but they never
What?
really.
Isn't he just able to hold his breath?
Oh, well, whatever it is, he
What
can
a
hold his breath
party
forever.
trick.
But they never
That's
really.
such a good party trick.
They never really show it.
Honestly, yeah, but I feel like that's because I remember. I think I saw Jared Way posted on Instagram and posted about Diego and put that it wasn't touched on in this season, but hopefully it'll be brought up in the next.
So you definitely can do it. Yeah.
But yeah, Diego is really beautiful as well. It's played by David Castaneda. He's really funny on Instagram. Shit, we didn't find out who played Ben. Can someone find out who played Ben? It's like Justin Min or something.
Justin
It's Justin Min, I think. But yeah, so Justin H. Min, the guy who plays Ben, is really, really funny on David Castaneda's Instagram. Basically, David Castaneda posted a picture about how they edit all his muscles. Basically, Justin H. Min is really funny. Because he posts on all of them. Like, if you go through their comments and look for Justin H. Min's comments, he's really funny. He's also really funny on Twitter. I really like him. But yeah, so basically, I accidentally derailed. Diego, so he very much, I think he wanted to be number 1. He doesn't like the fact he isn't number 1, so he resents both Luther and Reginald for it. So he left and made his own life and still continues a sort of heroed vigilante sort of lifestyle.
He tried to go the right way first.
Yeah.
As in, like, he tried to join the police first. And
Yeah,
then...
but it didn't work for him.
Nah.
So yeah, and basically his girlfriend Patch died, and it was Hazel and Cha-Cha, the people who were after number 5, who killed her, and then he's sort of on this whole revenge patch, but then Patch
Yeah.
Hey.
was completely accidental. But then number 5's like, would she actually want you to have done this? So then Diego's like, nah, fam. Also, Diego with Grace for mum is the cutest thing. When he's got his little stutter. And then the part as well when he's killing her, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's like, it'll be a... It's like, it's like, Diego. Just go, Diego, go. I love Diego. He's so attractive.
He really is. He really is.
When he's throwing them knives, it's like...
Throw them at me.
I think my only problem with Diego is he's good at throwing knives, and I don't think he threw enough knives. I want to see him throw more knives.
I want to see him throw other stuff.
I want to see
how far
him,
his powers go.
I want to see him bouncing stuff off like 15 walls and hitting somebody like in the head. You know what I mean? Like,
Trick shots.
Yeah.
How
More trick
good
shots.
must he be at snooker?
Exactly, but don't you want to see him doing stuff like that? Like,
I want a Diego spin-off.
I just want
same.
a reel of him doing fun trick shots.
There's this clip, and it's fully in Spanish, so if you want to watch it, but you don't understand what's being said, unless you speak
Like you do. You're saying that.
What I'm saying is, and I also didn't understand what was being said. And he's talking about throwing a slipper and being able to control where it goes, and it's quite amusing.
I would like that. I want to see him
I want
taking
to see him
people out
throw a
in
slipper
weird
at
ways.
Luther.
Like I want him stuck in like. Like, I want him stuck in a
Oh my
building
God.
where he's got to like pick up a tennis ball or like anything off the floor, like a DVD,
He'd
and
be
he's
so
just
good
taking
at
people out.
throwing cheese slices at things.
Let's hope he never has kids.
Like a kid in the other room.
Oh, that'd be great. So then there's also Alison, who is number 3, who's a ginger 19-year-old student who lives in Leeds.
But that's you.
Oh, she did it.
It's actually Alison with 2 L's. She's number 3. She's just. Oh, she says, I heard a rumour, and then says.
Her power's persuasion.
Yeah. She's just there, isn't she? Oh, she's also in love with Luther. Incest. Fully, no matter what you say, it's incest. They were raised together. That is disgusting. Because Jared Ways even said that he regrets doing that.
Yeah.
Because he thought when he was writing it they're not biologically related, but then he was like,
Actually. Step siblings are still siblings.
Also, they were raised together from birth as well.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Weird.
But also, the Dancing in the Moonlight scene is fun, because I love that song, because that's Pete's favourite song. Me and Pete's first dance is going to be Dancing in the Moonlight. Me and Pete have planned our wedding.
Cute.
Alright. Do you want to move on to number 4?
Yeah.
Number 4 is Klaus, played by Robert Sheehan, who you know from Misfits.
Boo and Mortal Instruments. Oh, have you seen...
Nobody saw that. Nobody. I bet it is. Nobody saw that.
Have you seen Cherry Bomb?
I haven't.
It's got Robert Sheehan and it's so bad.
Klaus's ability is that he can see and talk to the dead,
Same.
which is made quickly apparent with number 6, who is Ben, who has died where we don't know how he's died actually in the first season. And he's probably the best character in the show. Like, I feel like maybe some people would see him first to be like, oh, is he typical kind of Robert Sheehan character we might have seen before? He plays a lot of the similar type of roles. And then he's more, so he'll start the same where it's just doing like quirky kind of fun stuff. And then as his character grows, you get more to learn about why he'd be taking things like drugs because of what he was locked in a crypt.
Why you be taking things like...
I could have put that better, but still.
Why you be taking things like... Why you be taking things like drugs, Klaus?
I'll tell you why he'd be taking things like drugs. Because his quote-unquote dad, Mr. Hargreaves, locked him in a crypt full of... the crypt was obviously full of dead people. We know what crypts are. And he was haunted by them all.
I love when Dillan over-explains.
I can't help it. I just immediately assume that everybody thinks I'm talking shite. But you've said it about 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times.
That came out of nowhere.
You've said it about
3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times now, yeah.
You're talking about Robert Sheehan, you
The main part where I really empathise with Klaus is after he accidentally picks up the briefcase, which is used by the commission, which we'll talk about later with number 5, which allows you to travel in time, and he accidentally goes to Vietnam while sat on a bus. And while fighting in Vietnam, he falls in love with another soldier called Dave.
Dave, yes,
Yeah.
Dave. And then it's the Doors' Soul Kitchen.
Yeah.
In your
They have great time in Saigon. And then obviously Dave's killed. and
Sadly, the
it's
Vietnam
sad.
War was an unjust war. But it did have a big effect on all the soldiers, so I feel for Klaus.
I will talk about that. Technically,
I do love to talk about the Vietnam War.
everything is kind of Five's fault. How it ends, everything's Five's fault, pretty much. Which is completely unintentional by him, but everything's a little bit his fault.
I'd like to raise a blame to Pogo.
Oh, Pogo needs a lot of blame. I'll get to that. Don't worry. Pogo, I have problems with Pogo, but
I would shag Pogo.
I mean, he looks great. CGI chimp.
Oh!
Believe me, don't watch Rise of the Planet of the Apes with me.
We're kidding.
And I'll just touch on Ben.
Ooh,
Ben,
no.
oh, come on. All right, we've established I prefer the chimp.
He's dead.
Anyway, Ben's ability is, I think there's a portal to I think it said there's a portal to another dimension in his. I sure it's his belly button.
No, it looks like it's more central chest.
Is he more central chest? Anyway.
Oh, I thought
Like
you
a
could just
sternum.
transform into an octopus.
No, it's like a dimension.
No,
and
did you not see it? It comes
loads of
through him.
yeah.
I thought it was just like,
Yeah, and there's basically lets monsters
now I've
out.
got tentacles.
And the monsters seem to just be tentacles, for what we've seen so far.
Oh, I thought
It's
that
'cause
the
he
tentacles were
loves
part of him.
hentai.
Yeah, he's right into it.
So number 5.
Number 5. So number 5's the kind of the instigator of the story.
Unpopular opinion, number 5's power is the most useless.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of fighting crime.
Well,
Ow! Wait, no, Klaus. Wait, no. Klaus's power from the beginning, yes.
yeah, because we learn later about. But they are. Reginald ranks them in terms of usefulness. That's why they've got their numbers.
What the fuck? Ben is so higher. Ben should be number 1.
I don't understand why.
I hate to have a fight.
But that's why they've got their numbers. He's ranked them in usefulness.
So Ben should be number 1.
Because
Why
my
is
argument
Klaus
would be.
higher than Ben?
Diego.
That's why I'm like, why is he 2? He can hold his breath and throw a knife.
If they don't,
Cool
if he
beans.
doesn't have knives, sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's he gonna throw? Like
but
paper
that's why they're
clips?
there.
Also, Hazel was giving Luther a run for his money.
I don't know why he's ranked
Yeah.
them in that. Because in terms of a fight, I mean,
Alison, mate.
Ben could do all of it on his own.
Yeah.
Really.
Also, if Alison just manages to get close enough, just like, I heard a rumour you let me win.
yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
But anyway, number 5's ability is he can move in time and
Fuck
space.
you, Reginald.
That, to be fair, that is useful if you can move in time as well. It depends if you can get control of it.
The Doctor.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? He's not in this universe. I hope you don't know. Like, well,
You don't know
yet
that.
to be confirmed.
If he is, then there's 2 Luthers.
But
Maybe Greg is Luther.
when he was 13,
Plot twist.
when he was 13, he walked out and tried to prove to his
Run, boy, run.
yeah. He tried to prove that he could travel in time yet, and then he obviously couldn't figure out how to get back. But he travelled. Well, he does a lot. He skips quite a bit, and then he travels to the end of the world when the world's already over. He's the only one left. So he's trying to figure out how to get back. But before that, he's met by the handler, who works for the commission.
Handler.
Yeah.
You didn't pronounce the D very well.
Alright. Not everything's all about the D, Alison.
It is.
Alright. Let me just get my train of thought back. The commission is a company that works on making sure specific events in time still happen. And he's brought on as an assassin to stop people who...
Kills JFK.
You know what I mean? No, I don't think he does, because he doesn't
was
shoot the
supposed to
gun.
kill JFK.
No, I think he's supposed to kill the person who kills JFK. Because I honestly felt like the way it was done is because he was sent to get the person who got JFK, and then because he didn't, JFK died. I felt like that's what it was.
I don't know, because I don't think they'd allow that to happen. I think he was supposed to shoot JFK.
But 5, the world ends because of 5. Because if you notice, the episode where Luther finds out that everything he did on the moon was pointless, and then Diego ties up Klaus, he gets to see Dave again, and all that stuff. And then
For David wasn't, sorry.
Yeah, and all that, and then Vanya finds out that Lena's been lying to her the whole time.
Fanta. I'm really sorry, Vanya, that wasn't funny.
And then what happens is
Very
he goes back in time, things change, and Vanya doesn't find that out. So Vanya all becomes her. If she'd have found that out earlier, like she did in the previous day, she never would have ended the world. So it's kind of Five's fault for coming back in time.
Idiot.
If Five had stayed at the commission, everything would have been fine.
The world would have still ended.
Wouldn't, because Vanya already found out that
Vanya
already found out.
Klaus be drunk.
Vanya already found out that Leonard was lying to her because she found the book under the bed instead of finding it later after she'd already heard.
The thing that annoys me is, Alison, bring all the proof into the cabin.
You've seen the car.
You idiot! You have it there. Bring it in and be like, Vanya. Also, just let Vanya shout at you for a bit, mate, and then just be like...
Also, Vanya shouts at Alison. Next episode, she goes to Leonard, "You're a bastard," and kills him. You know what I mean? It's like, so she must have listened to her after then, thinking she'd killed her.
I also think Vanya does have a bit of a murderous streak, because the fact that she was happy to be throwing those nannies left, right and centre makes me think that she is, she's not the villain, because 100% it's due to what's happened to her. Because, if Luther... Because also, one thing that really upsets me, Luther looks like he'd give such a good hug. You'd feel so safe, but then he has to crush her, and it's like, well, now I don't feel safe anymore, Luther.
Vanya becomes less of a character and more of an instrument. Pardon the pun. But the more the series goes on, she becomes more of a... she becomes more of the subject rather than an actual character, doesn't she, really? She's just really cool in white, though. Not a fan of the eyes, but the rest of it looks cool.
But have you seen about how it was Ellen Page who said that she didn't want to be wearing the full spandex white...
mate, have you seen it in the comics?
Yeah, white violence.
yeah, I agree.
It's basically like a skin type thing. Because she didn't want to feel like she was being sexualised.
Yeah, but I honestly prefer the suit and the thing. I think it looks good.
Also, have you seen all the stuff that's like Robert Sheen and Ellen Page are like, I'll be in your show if you let me wear my own clothes? Because when you look at what they wear compared to their characters, it is...
Yeah.
I love Robert Sheen so much.
Oh, we didn't touch on apparently his powers aren't fully ready because it looks like he can bring people back from the dead. Because he brings back Ben to use his powers to clear the room.
No, but isn't his thing where he can speak to dead superheroes and get their powers?
Well, maybe that'll come later on, but I think he can bring anybody back.
But I think
it was needed.
I think that what his power was, this is like I'm not ready.
It'd be more useful to bring back somebody who can do something. Like, fair enough, because he can, if it's somebody who's just smart, he can just talk to them. He doesn't have to bring them back. He can just talk to them and then pass on the message.
Little Russian lady.
That was the best. That was a really good scene. The fact that they... Obviously, it starts humorous because they try to torture him and he's just getting off on it all.
Yeah.
But then when he finds a way... Because obviously he uses his powers to flip the tables on them, doesn't he?
Yeah. But so then Reginald is the guy who adopts them all. He's very rich, not a very nice man. Basically, I think...
Are we completely thinking he's the worst? The only thing that goes from is he created Grace.
Yeah, I think that's nice, but then I think also the fact that...
He's still an arsehole.
Klaus, Vanya,
yes.
also to an extent Luther.
He sent him to the moon just because he couldn't be arsed dealing with what he looked like, really, didn't he? Is that what he did?
Yeah, because... Yeah.
He thought he did it out of kindness, but that's not kind.
No.
Because, I understand, obviously, Luther does act as if what happened to him was the worst thing ever, but honestly, that is horrible. That would be so horrible to find out.
Yeah.
Because then also, obviously, to be fair, Alison and Diego, your problems are sort of also problems that everyone has to go through, divorce and family leaving.
Yeah.
Whereas, Klaus...
What happens to Klaus is awful.
And then Vanya as well, but obviously Vanya, even Vanya getting told that she's ordinary and stuff.
That's the thing that makes it awful mainly for Vanya. She's felt excluded her entire life, and then to find out that, oh mate, out of all these people, I'm the best, technically, when it comes to our abilities.
And then also, obviously, number 5, technically it wasn't Reginald, but it must have been horrible to be alone for as long as he was.
It was 50 years or something.
Also,
I mean, he still talks to the mannequin. I bet Dolores could tell some stories.
He's not a living person. No, but virgin. So's Luther.
In the comics, he's stuck like that forever.
So's Ben!
Do we know that? How old's Ben?
Ben was 15 when he died. Did you see that little statue? It was a child.
Oh,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Ben was a virgin when he died.
So in the comics, his statue is like an older man with a costume and the things are coming out. Oh. So in the comics, he dies a lot later than he does in this.
So then also Grace and Pogo I love Grace. I think she's an angel. I also really love Pogo. I cried when Pogo died.
I was upset about Pogo, but Pogo annoyed me.
Pogo, but I also...
His loyalty to Reginald.
Yeah.
I get it a bit, but I'm like, just... If you'd just sat everybody down and told everybody this, none of it happens, really, does it? None of the bad things.
Because I do think, as well, it was obvious that they all needed to find out.
Yeah.
So I do think he should have sat up and... Because even though it would have been hard to be like... But also, they all knew how their dad was, other than, Luther. So if he'd been he told me I had to keep these secrets, they'd been okay, fairs. Luther did... Also, one thing that I hated about Luther was how he was doing the whole, we're a family, we need to do votes. And then just locked Vanya in the place. And then even though everyone was
Everybody was like, no, this
out.
is stupid, yeah.
Also, I 100% would have fought Luther more.
Would have what?
Fought him more.
Yeah.
They just got pushed back once and then were like, oh yeah.
Can any of them take on Luther
Stab
that
him,
close?
Diego. Stab him.
Yeah, but does it work?
Yeah, he's a
No,
monkey.
because can Luther take a bullet? I'm genuinely asking.
You can shoot a monkey and it'll die.
No, but I'm asking because
the
if he's
strength,
super strong
the
and
muscle.
durable, could he be bulletproof? I'm actually genuinely asking.
Bite him. Honestly, bite him.
Yeah, but if he's
That's one thing I also love
bullet,
about Diego. Diego's fight move seems to be to bite them. Because
Oh.
that's also my fight move.
Diego-
That is my fight move.
Diego fights dirty, all day long.
No, but that's literally a thing. If someone's...
Why would you fight for
I might change my who I am to Diego rather than Klaus. Because literally, if someone's fighting you, if you bite them, they're taken back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mike
That's a
Tyson.
shock.
If you remember, I once bit M, and there was a mark in her arm for ages.
Hell.
I'm a good biter. I actually think
What
I
a
might...
good impression you're giving off of yourself.
I don't bite people very often.
You've bit me several times.
Yeah, but just because I was shown...
I don't know if you've bit me.
I don't think I bit you.
No.
I think also I bit you because I was shown that I could.
It
was a
wasn't me who
power
asked,
move.
though. It wasn't me who asked if she could. I was just happened to be sat next to her.
It was a power move. And now we know who's the ruler of the podcast. It was honestly Diego to Luther. You're number one. But I'm going to bite you and take you down.
I never claimed to be number one. I was very happy being number 7.
I think I probably am number one in the podcast. I do so much more work than you do.
I just introduced I just introduced it.
Just know if you get too big for your boots, we will send you to the moon.
I don't want to be a monkey.
Oh.
I'd much rather... No, I would honestly... Because I think also Diego is number one. Diego is so much more better at coming up with plans
So
and
much
looking
more
out
better.
for all of them.
So much more better.
And looking out for all of them than Luther is. Diego is number one.
Diego's very volatile.
Diego's number one.
I don't think anybody's that clear of a leader.
Diego's number
No.
one.
Luther's going to end up becoming the leader. That's his arc.
I also really hope... Have you seen that thing about how I really hope that Umbrella Academy, when it's all happy, it ends with them all dancing together. As a group together to I Think We're Alone Now. Which I
would
love
be
that
nice.
scene. Oh, anyway. So Hazel and Cha-Cha.
They're sent by the commission to, at first, kill number 5 because they're trying to keep the apocalypse happening. And they're the best. Honestly, for a pair of bad guys, they are so fun.
I love
really
the scene
enjoy
where
them.
they're
them.
burning down the...
Oh, and they're high on something, aren't
Yeah,
they?
because they ate
Yeah.
Klaus's chocolate, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they just... I love the fact that they have
It's so
inflatable helmets which are somehow made out of metal. I just
Yeah.
love it. It's just stupid. And
It makes no sense.
Ah.
They are.
And they're clearly so capable because they... Hazel beats Luther, really. In a straight-up one-to-one fight, he beats Luther. A guy with super strength, he just takes him on.
You should not be able to do that.
One thing that I
Yeah.
didn't like in terms of that
It's
fight
how
was
trained they are, yeah.
because this is one of the only things that makes me not really like Diego is how he is to Vanya. When
Yeah.
obviously Vanya was at the house because it is her house, and when she got sort of attacked a bit by Hazel, Diego was like, well, why are you even here? And it's because it's her house, Diego.
He's the one who takes her book the hardest, though, I think.
It's very much like Hill House.
Yeah. But he takes it the hardest out of it. He is more upset about it than anybody else.
Yeah. But Hazel and Cha-Cha are good. I also love Hazel and Agnes.
I love the way that 5 plays them off each other is great. Where he sends them both a different message saying the person you have to kill is each other.
But I also love how Hazel doesn't want to do it. Hazel is so lovely.
Hazel is the best. I'm glad that he lives at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because Cha-Cha doesn't. she dies in the apocalypse, but Hazel escapes with Agnes with the briefcase.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm the worst at swearing in this one.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Passion.
Stupid.
Also, Leonard, I thought it was going to be that he was actually one of the children. Like, he was one of the other kids who had a power.
They did
To begin
they did touch on that though, didn't they? Because he was born on the same day as them, but
Yeah.
he just wasn't special.
I'm not, however old they are.
30.
I was born 10 years after. Well, not exactly. I was born pretty much 10 years after. 9 years and 6 months. 9 years and 6 months after it.
Why are you working this out?
9 years and 6 months after it, I was born.
Oh my
Wow.
God, are you one of them?
I'm one of them.
Crazy.
Oh. God.
Everyone I'm one. Anyway, yeah. But Leonard...
I really enjoyed that Leonard lived on Morello Street and in Orange is the New Black he married Morello. That made me happy.
Leonard made me upset. Leonard fully ruined my life.
He ruined your life.
Do you know what annoyed me, right? It just annoyed me that Alison was right about him. I didn't want her to be... I wanted him to be a nice person.
Honestly, I didn't mind Alison that much. And it is very much because I will never insult anyone who has the same name as me. But also, I think she just wanted what was best for all.
But also,
of them.
could she have stopped the apocalypse if the Luther and them hadn't have like jumped on stage and like attacked
I fully
Vanya?
think she had. Because when Vanya was just looking at
Because
her
she
and
was
smiling,
just like smiling, it was all happy.
But I think they would have... Vanya wouldn't
I
have done
think-
anything.
I think, to be honest, I think all of them make mistakes to cause the apocalypse.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
All of them
Everybody
have
gets that
mistakes that
way.
end the world, though.
Ben has never made a mistake in his whole life. Give me one mistake Ben makes.
Probably the mistake that got him killed.
Whoa.
Low blow.
You gave me no option. Also, the only thing I wanted a little bit of hint of the other 36 kids.
Yeah.
There's one right here.
You know what I
Do
mean?
they
Like,
have powers?
yeah, I think
Them kids that
I
are
think
just...
they all do.
They
must
probably all
all
do, but some of them, like, to be fair, Diego, would you have found out your power?
Yeah. There's gonna be some who's like, oh, I can grow my fingernails real long. Cool beans.
Yeah, because also, like, number 5, how often when you run, you go,
Yeah.
and then, like again, Klaus, you probably just think you can see ghosts.
Yeah.
See spooky Yukis.
Like,
Alison, how often do you go up to people? I heard a rumour.
I think.
Honestly,
I
every
think it's
time
gonna
you
find
say
out.
Alison, I just think,
Yes.
I think we're gonna find out she doesn't need to say that. I think some of them need a trigger, to start it. Like, because you find out that Klaus is more powerful than he thinks he is. I think it's for a lot of them. I think a lot of them are more powerful
did
than
you
they
see
think they
that
are.
thing where on the table where number 5's about to be like, oh, I want to travel through time. Klaus is rolling a joint, which means that like at 13, Klaus was already doing drugs.
Yeah, don't surprise me at all.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Because he'd already been locked up by then.
That's so sad. Anyway, so it was written by Jared Way from My Chemical Romance, and I love Jared Way so much, honestly. Yeah. But have you also seen that 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge is back in the charts?
Is it?
it?
Wow.
And fully I'm
yes.
a part of that. Because I've been listening to it repeatedly. But
I'm enjoying his covers in this series. He only has 2,
good.
doesn't he?
Yeah, happy to... And then it's also with Ray Toro, the guitarist from My Chemical Romance. Oh, it makes me so happy.
The soundtrack is quality.
The soundtrack is
It's
amazing.
such a good soundtrack.
I don't like, though, how Noel Gallagher's on it, because then when I added that to my playlist, I had to add a bit of Liam Gallagher, and then I had to add a bit of Blur to, like, even it out.
Not against
had
Noel
to.
Gallagher.
I 100% prefer Blur. And the thing that annoys me, though, is when you say that you prefer Blur to people who prefer Oasis, they argue loads to you about it, and it's like, I don't care. Prefer Oasis,
Yeah, it's fine.
it means nothing to me. But apparently when you prefer Blur, it's
my
the
best
end of the
friend
world.
loves Blur. I prefer Oasis. We don't argue about it.
You like what you like, I like what I like. Let's just leave it at that.
But yeah, the soundtrack is good. Istanbul,
No, it's Constantinople.
That
It's
song is
Istanbul,
incredible.
Constantinople.
Do you know that song's a cover?
Constantinople.
That song's a cover, right? I found this out by
Oh, wow.
accident. It's a cover by a barbershop quartet kind of thing in the 50s.
That's fun.
Right? No, it's harrowing. The 51s, the one from the 50s is I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable, and I'm not a fan.
If I find it, I'll link it.
It's really uncomfortable. Actually, I really didn't enjoy it. I way prefer the They May Be Giants version.
Yeah, so I think we're done.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy is really good. I really think if you're going to watch it. It's very, very good. Next week, we're going to be talking about Riverdale.
And I'll be listening about Riverdale.
Yes. So...
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Oh, shit.